Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Wendy, Mothata. Today I am joined by founder of VAYA Sneakers, Themba Makamo. Welcome to my channel.
Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm well, and you?
You're such a busy guy. I'm good. Listen, before we get straight into the interview, I want you to tell me about the name. Just the name only, VAYA.
The name Vaya comes out of, originally it's a word that's used in the township. Township slang for going.
Okay.
You know, in the township, when someone is going somewhere, we say we are Vaya.
Okay, I'm Vaya.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
So I thought, it's such an appropriate name for this brand because it's a brand that wants to encourage, we aim to encourage people to go for their dreams.
Yeah.
And it just stuck. I don't know how it happened, but when I thought about it, I said, we need a name that will stick in someone's mind, but a name that someone will resonate with.
Yeah.
And Vaya was just the name.
It was just the name. Listen, tell us a brief background about yourself.
Okay. I've got a long story, but I'm trying to cut it short. Okay, I'm a kid from Katlehong, born and raised in Katlehong, and I initially started off as a writer, as a journalist, and the entrepreneur bug just hit whilst I was still in journalism, and I decided, let me go into business.
Yeah.
So I went into different businesses before I got to Vaya. You know how the journey is.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, just briefly, I've been someone that's been in the media space and then moved into business and started Vaya.
Okay, so I mean, we have, I need to refer this, guys. We have go for it. I mean, the shoes for ambitious.
Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Okay, I'm a very ambitious person.
Yeah.
So because of that, I'm always someone that goes after anything that I envision or I want to do in my life.
Yeah.
So when this brand came about, it came as a result of what can we create that can encourage people to go for their dreams. So meaning this brand, whenever somebody sees it, it should be something that reminds them to go for their dreams. So it's a brand of ambition. So even the marketing, the whole branding around it is about encouraging people to go for their dreams. So the shoe is just the catalyst for people to go for it. So that's why we called it a shoe for the ambitious, because we want ambitious people to, whenever they are feeling down or whenever they think about going for their dreams, they must think of Vaya as well.
Listen, Themba, you are so ambitious, even when you talk about this particular brand, and I love it. So it is very clear that the Vaya, sneaker is growing. The market, I mean, I have seen it on social media. It seems like people are loving it. So what can you tell us more about this brand?
Okay, this brand right now, it's still at its infancy. We started just a couple of months ago. But when you're starting something...
Listen, did you just say months ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just a couple of months ago. But obviously there's been some background work, that we've put in. And that took a while because we had to conceptualize the sneaker, how it's going to look like. Because the thing about the sneaker, we didn't want to explain it. We wanted it to explain itself. That when you see it, immediately there must be something that hits you, that this is something unique, this is something different, this is something that I like. And then it's like a lady, when you see a lady and a lady looks nice, before you can even talk to her, her beauty and her look speaks to you. So that's what we were aiming for, that we would love for people when they see the sneaker to have an impression of it that will make you search even more.
Do you see what we have done with the chairs here?
Yes.
I mean, I thought we'll bring the green one, so I just wanted that thing, guys. So I mean, it is no secret that now the industry of footwear is growing in South Africa. You have seen it. So what is so different about this brand that we're talking about today? Okay,
let me touch on the footwear industry first. So basically, it's for us black-owned companies, it's still a new space.
Okay.
I mean, the one brand that is now is like leading the industry has been around for like 5 years.
Okay.
So, but when you look at the space itself, we are really still small in terms of when you compare us to the giants, but already the seeds have been planted, and we envision that in the next 20 years, when you see those big names, you'll see our names next to them. So, but what's unique about this sneaker is that firstly, like I explained, it's not just a sneaker. It's like a confidence booster.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a confidence booster.
Yeah.
It's the type of sneaker when you wear it, immediately there's a change of mood. Sometimes there might even be a change of walk. How you walk,
however how you want it.
Yeah. So already it's a confidence booster. What it does to you, I think it has magic powers, but people can testify to it. A lot of people that have worn the sneaker, they'll tell you the comfort, the feel, and how and when they go out there, they just have a spring in their step. That's one thing. And in terms of the materials that we've used, if we have to go through the detail, then we've used good materials in terms of the upper. It's very strong. The foam that we've used for the sole, it's called the EVA foam, which is it adapts to the shape of your foot. So in terms of comfort, it's a very comfortable and light, very light sneaker.
It's very light and it really does look comfortable. And I think we'll get more reviews from people. I mean, I have seen some of the reviews on your social media, even your your Instagram. People do attesting to the fact that it's very comfortable. It is light. You can wear it to gym. Can you wear this with formal clothes?
You can wear it with a suit. Yeah, you can wear it to gym. You can wear it with casual clothes. So it's for all occasions. It depends on how you want to dress, but we've made it in a way that it accommodates whatever taste you have.
I don't buy man. I love it. So take us through the background. You know, I mean, having to come up with this project, I think it's something that I don't know if it took you a while or whatsoever until to a point where you are like, this is it. This is what I have a vision of or whatsoever. How was it?
Yeah, it's a process. For someone that wants to get into it, you have to do a lot of research, because starting a sneaker business is not just remember when you do the sneaker, you have to do samples, and when you do samples, you're just doing an initial one pair, and so for the factory, it's not justifiable for them to start machines so they can manufacture one pair, because we've got a manufacturing partner. So the process of doing that one sample pair is very expensive. So you will do one pair and then it comes back and there's errors and there's mistakes, and you're like, people are going to be complaining about this, let me just fix this. So that whole process is very long. You might take, just to do just one sample pair, might take 6 months, and then to fix it, you take another 6 months until you get to the final product before you even do the launch. So the sample process alone is very expensive. And then there's another process of the mold. The mold is this part of the sole. So because it's a new shoe, the molds has to be created uniquely for the shoe. So if there's a size 3, they have to do a mold for size 3, and you pay for the molds, the different molds. So every size, like a mold will cost you anything from 6,000 to 15,000. So that's why when you start, you don't have all the sizes, because you have to create the molds separately until you can do all sizes. Like us right now, we've got from size 6 up to size 11, but we've already now done molds for size 3 up until size 12.
I was about to be so mad because I wear 3. I'm like, please don't even go there.
The thing that the biggest stumbling block in getting a shoe out is the minimum order quantity. So in the industry they call it the MOQ. So the minimum order quantity is what blocks a lot of people from progressing, because the factories will tell you we cannot do a minimum order quantity of like 100 pairs. We want to do something like from 2,000 or 10,000 pairs. And 10,000 pairs is a lot of millions.
And this is the money out of your pocket at this time.
Because it's yes. So you are very lucky if you get a factory that will say, okay, let's do a minimum order quantity of like 1,000 pairs. So there's a lot that goes behind it, but you have to raise the money so that the initial pairs that you're going to sell, there's a lot of orders that are available. There's a lot of pairs that you order from the factory. I mean, I get it when you say this is for ambitious people. I can only imagine taking 6 months just to fix this part and having to fix the other part. I mean, that is amazing.
Do you have sizes for everyone now?
Yeah, now we've got sizes for from size 3 because the demand is from size 3.
Yes, yes.
But there's a plan as well that later in the year we're going to have for the kiddies.
Yes,
we're going to introduce ones for kiddies because there's a lot of ladies that say, I want to match with my kid. So don't you have something? So we are also, that's also in the pipeline. But for now, we've got size 3 up until size 12. So we've accommodated almost everyone now.
And what are some of the challenges that you have faced when you were actually coming up with VAYA Sneakers?
Okay, I would say the first challenge that one of the biggest challenges now is, when you come up with something and there's already players in the industry, and it feels like you are copying them, or you want to do what they're doing because they've achieved some success. But in actual fact, so you have to first deal with those perceptions and get them aside so that you can deal with the customer and tell them what your concept is. But for me personally, I've been a sneakerhead way before this sneaker started. The only tough thing was you never knew how to go about it because it was a tough industry to crack into. And when you went to South African factories, you had those challenges of how many pairs can you do with us? And when the industry started opening up, now it was an opportunity so that when you go there, they are saying, okay, we are seeing there's some success with 1 or 2 brands. Now we're giving you the opportunity. So to get over that hurdle was a bit tough, but we made it because of the ambition, as we say. So there's been other challenges. There's challenges of the market as well, where you have to reach the market. Luckily, we're living in an age of social media, so that has helped a lot.
So tell us about the design. What's your inspiration behind it?
Okay, right now we're living in an age of lifestyle sneakers. So before, sneakers were driven by athletes, or you can say sports. So most of the sneakers come from tennis, and most of the sneakers come from basketball. So most of the silhouettes, the designs, are just adaptations of sneakers that are from basketball and sneakers that are from tennis. So now the industry has moved to lifestyle sneakers. So lifestyle sneakers incorporate both elements. They incorporate sports and they incorporate lifestyle. So the design is informed by that we wanted to bring both elements into the sneaker, that if you're a sports enthusiast and when you see the sneaker, you also want to adorn it, or if you're a lifestyle type of person where you go to events and you like to going out, or you just want to wear it so you can chill, we wanted you to also be attracted to it. But the design is definitely informed by those 2 elements that we want to accommodate both sides of the fence. That's why we designed it to be like this.
Okay, I like that. How is the market receiving you guys?
It's been amazing. It's we always say there's a partner of mine who's the brand manager, Themba. We always say we want to take credit, and say, we did it, we the ones that but when you look at it, you realize that it's just God's grace, because the people, the excitement from the first day the sneaker we unveiled it to the world, the launch. So basically it wasn't even a launch like a proper launch, but it was put out on social media. On that first day, we received over 100 calls just on one day. Everybody just calling and saying, hey, I just saw the sneaker. Where do I get it? Where's the store? So the reception has been amazing. We've had people from all over the country. As we speak, there isn't a single province in South Africa where we haven't sold the sneaker, and it's just 4 months. And in 4 months, we've been able to sell around the country. Now we even have people from outside of the country. We have people from Namibia, from Botswana, from our recent order was from Netherlands.
You said it.
Yes, so the reception has been amazing, and it's only in a space of 4 months. And we set out there. We said maybe it's because we did this on the sneaker, but we eventually realized that it must be God's grace.
It is. I mean, that's beautiful. Having orders from Netherlands.
Yes.
I can imagine. I don't know, but what do you think about the power of social media?
Social media, I always say we living in the greatest era of humanity because I've been lucky that I've been in the media and I knew how powerful the media was and perceptions were formed by the media.
Yeah.
This would have been unheard of a couple of years ago because you wouldn't have been able to launch this thing because the platforms are expensive. Radio advertising, TV advertising, billboards is advertising. Now, social media has leveled the playing field. Anybody can launch their thing. I mean, what we're doing here tells you you're a media powerhouse because you can speak directly to someone immediately. It's no longer, you don't need anybody's permission anymore. So my whole thing about social media is that we have to realize that we're living in the greatest era in humanity where you can access 1 million people without a budget. It doesn't matter where you are. As long as you've got a device, which is a phone, you can start anything you want to start. So I love this time. That's why this came at the time I said, if ever there was a time to launch something this is it. Because I don't have to raise money for advertising.
Yes, you don't have to. In fact, you have people, the very same people who buy the sneakers are the people who are going to spread the word and be like, listen, this is the most comfortable shoe ever. How many shoes did you initially, do you call it produced or what? I don't know.
Yeah, the minimum order quantity. Which we've produced actually. So we've been very lucky that we got a factory that when we presented our case, they realized that, you know what, this is something that's going VAYA. So they gave us that platform to say, okay, you can do a minimum number of samples and go out there and see how the response is and then come back and do bigger orders. So initially we started with just 100 pairs.
Okay.
And when we did that, we had ordered the 100 pairs, right? And then we put out the photos on social media. We launched it on social media. Within that space, I think it was around like a week or so, it was sold out. The 100 pairs were sold out before they even arrived.
Yes, so people were already putting in orders.
Yeah, they paid. I mean, on the first day when we unveiled the sneaker on social media, money went into the account.
Listen.
Yeah, people just bought it.
Crazy.
Yeah, no,
oh my
it was
goodness.
amazing.
Are we looking forward to any big formal launch?
Yes, definitely we are. The plan was that when we do the launch, we want to do it when we have all the sizes. So now we are just in the process of receiving all the stock with all sizes that are available. Because what was holding us back in the past couple of months, because we could have launched a long time ago, we didn't want to create demand for something that we couldn't supply because we were going to end up with a lot of people that are disgruntled and
people who are complaining how can you do a launch when you don't have a size 4, 5 days.
So now we are in a position where, because now we've done the order for the size 3, size 4, size, we're going to do a big launch. And we are so lucky that there's so many people that have come forward and said, hey, I don't want money. I just love the concept behind the sneaker. I love the concept that you are pushing in terms of, helping people to achieve their dreams. Because, okay, so it's not just the message that go for it. We've got other things that we've planned to say how to help people go for their dreams. Because it's one thing to tell somebody go for it and then where do I go? We want to show them the steps of how to go for it. Because even this whole process of VAYA, it's us showing people with social media, everything that we've done, we've documented on social media so that if you are someone that wants to get into this business, you can just go on my timeline and be like, oh, so then he did this, and then he did this, and then he did this. So if I want to go for it, these are the steps of how to build a brand or how to build a business.
I get that. But a situation where someone aspired to you, Themba, they want to do this, and they don't even know where to start. And it's so hard to get hold of him, by the way. So now to find him and to try to ask you, hey, how did this happen and all that,
it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, when you say that, it's so important what you're saying, because back in the day I used to listen to a lot of interviews growing up, and I used to wait for the moment where they say, how did you do it? And somebody says, it's been God all the way.
That's actually true.
It's just Jesus. And you're like, okay, cool. But how did you do it? Where did you go? It was very tough. And it's also God with me. But there are some practical principles that you have to apply for things to happen. But there wasn't a platform where you could get step-by-step guide on how to do something. And with social media, we've got now a platform where somebody can just go through your timeline and see what you're doing, and there's a blueprint of how to do this thing.
Speaking of the official launch, please tell Themba that my name should be there. He's probably gonna watch this.
Definitely.
I mean, Themba, we live in a country where there is high unemployment, and hence we have this today. What's your vision around? What is it that you're planning to do around unemployment?
That's a very good question. What I would say firstly is, you're only people are loyal to their own. People are loyal to their own. Now, what I mean by that is that we've grown up to be told that we need to attract international investors to come into the country and build factories. But what I've realized over the years is that when there's some political turmoil or some economic instability, because these companies are not from here, they're not loyal to our own people. They pack their bags. I know now it's in South Africa, it's not looking good. The economy, I'm packing, I'm closing, I'm shutting shop, I'm leaving. But if I open a company as Themba Makamo and there's a cousin of mine, no nepotism, but there's a cousin of mine employed there, there's a friend of mine employed there, there's a brother, there's if things are not going well in my country, these are my own people. I will make sure that I'm part of the solution instead of the problem. So I will say, how do we fix this thing? Our communities, whatever is going on, how do we build this economy? So in terms of that, if we as South Africans now start supporting local brands and we build the factories, we are not going anywhere. Instead, whatever that will be going on, because we are in control of the economy and we are invested in the country, we will make sure that we create more opportunities. So I just feel that us building such brands is a new era. It's we're turning a page, because once we build the factories, I bet you I'm not going to shut down a factory where my cousin is there. I'm going to make sure I'm not going to say I'm going to go and invest in Guatemala or in Italy. I'm going to stay here in this country. And so this is a way out. And for too long, we've put our destiny and our trust in other people, that someone will come and build jobs for us. Not anymore. We have to realize that we gotta do it ourselves. So the plan for VAYA is to eventually build a huge factory, a factory that will have a design division, a factory that will have people that will manufacture the sneaker here, a factory that will have a corporate side that will employ the smart people, because you need smart people with their degrees, to take us forward. And because the goal is not just to be South African, but to be African and international, so that one day the sneaker will be sold all over the world.
This is a fresh product on the market. Do you ever sit down as an individual and be like, oh my goodness, what if I don't succeed in this whole thing? How do you come up with a solution to such thoughts, if they ever do come to your mind?
That's a good one as well, because as somebody that observes cultural trends, I've seen that there's brands that have come up and disappeared, brands that have come up and disappeared, and most of the time it's brands that were trending. So it's very dangerous to trend. It's not a good thing, because when you trend, that means the trend will end. The nice thing is when people have an attachment towards the brand. So hence our brand is not about trending, it's also building an emotional connection towards the message we are sending. We want to be that brand that a couple of years from now, it doesn't matter that we're still trending or not. When you think of ambition, you have to think of VAYA. When you think of going for your goals, you have to think of VAYA. You don't have to be like, there's brands where you think about, which I don't want to rock this thing anymore. It's out of fashion. No. So we don't want to be that type of brand. So longevity for us will be us always associating ourselves with this thinking of ambition. So ambition is not something that's going to end today. In the next 100 years, people will still be ambitious, and VAYA will still be around as well.
It's VAYA, so can I rock this for my long distance?
Yeah, you can. It is a lifestyle brand. We promote it as a lifestyle brand, but if you wanna, for different functions, we've made it possible that You can climb a mountain, you can run, you can go on a treadmill.
Yeah.
You can do a whole lot of things with it.
Okay. Tell us about the colors that you have.
Okay, currently we've got 4 colors.
Okay.
We've got VAYA Lime, the VAYA White, the VAYA Black, and the VAYA Mustard, which is yellow.
Which is yellow, yeah.
So we've got these 4 colors, but there's been a demand for also more colors because, you know, your ladies, they want to match with their different color clothing, you know. So there are more colors that are coming in, and we are so excited because in the festive season we'll reveal more colors.
Yeah. Time for spending money. So you guys must spend more money on festive. I like the white color. I love the lime. I saw the recent photo shoot that you guys had on your social media. It's absolutely amazing. It's beautiful. Tell me, so when it comes to pricing, I mean, was it difficult for you to end up being like, this is how much I want this shoe to cost?
You know, when it comes to pricing, the biggest consideration is the target market.
Okay.
We want it. We have to take into consideration the cost of making the sneaker.
Yeah.
And then factor in that we also need to price it in a way that will not outprice us out of the market, because that's very easy.
Yeah.
So for an example, because the brand is so good that we've had people approach us very early in starting in the project, that they came and said, okay, we can put the brand in our shelves. But the problem with that is that you lose control of the value chain, meaning even the pricing now gets out of your hand.
Yes.
So then you get to a position whereby when the product goes out of your hands and it's priced by somebody else, they no longer consider all the factors that you were considering in terms of your target market. They start selling it at, you know, crazy prices that will outprice you out of the market. So we had to deal with that very early, and luckily we just said, no, you know, let's just believe in ourselves and do it ourselves and price it in a way that will make our target market to be able to afford it.
Yeah. And then how do you deal with criticism? I know social media can be brutal. You have seen it with other things happening around the world. How do you deal with that?
I'll tell you something about social media. You know, it has given even people that were afraid to speak out because, I mean, it's you're just sitting there next to a keyboard or your phone and nobody sees you, so you can say whatever you want to say. When I'll say something about sneakers, when you're starting a sneaker brand, the difficult thing about sneakers is you don't trademark designs. You can trademark the name, but you don't trademark designs. And once you do a design and somebody sees that this design is very good, they can do a similar design and put it out there and sell it. Now, it might happen that other people will think, then you've copied, or they don't know who copied who, and then you'll be criticized. We've seen this brand, you copied it, but there's nothing you can do about that. What is very important and what is happening right now is we know what we were aiming for, we know what we were targeting, so we wanted to stick to the script. So criticism, yes, we do take criticism. If it's constructive, we say, okay, let's improve, especially with customer experience. It's very key for us to listen to people and what they are complaining about. But we do not let criticism that doesn't, you know, add any positive towards this journey, we do not take that. We tend to just ignore it and focus on the good, and that's how we've been dealing with the criticism.
What are some of the challenges that, I mean, young entrepreneurs or fresh entrepreneurs or whatsoever are facing in the industry?
Okay, in this industry, because we are retailing, once you say retail, then you need a distribution network. So that means stores. You have to have shops, because, for an example, it's not all people that are on the online space. So the first and biggest challenge is everybody, when they see the product online, they ask you about where can I get it. And now in your mind you're thinking, if I can get into established stores, then I'll be able to distribute the product. But that's when it becomes very complex, because that becomes a challenge. When you get into retail, there's a lot of, you know, hurdles that you have to jump, but at the same time then you lose a lot of control. So one of the biggest challenges when you get to retail, you're still very small, you're probably making like 100 units, and you want to get into retail and make like 1 million or 5 million or 10 million a month. then it gets to a point whereby now the vultures are lining up and they're saying, hey, we can help you out in this problem.
Yeah.
We can help you manufacture this much quantity, then you'll be able to get into all these stores.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is once somebody that comes in from that space, they're no longer carrying the vision of the company. What they're seeing the cash, and they're seeing the how they're gonna benefit. As the process goes on, you lose even control of your own company. So it's a big challenge. So it's very tricky because at one point you're sitting here, there's 10 million people saying we want your product, but we can't find it. And then on the other, you're thinking, hey, if I give way, or I give a part of my portion of my company, then I lose the vision and I lose everything. I still want to control it, but I still want to distribute it to everybody. So it gets very tricky. But what I would say with social media being the aggregator now, Middlebrand, you are able to reach the same amount of people, but now it forces you to just swallow that pill and say, let me take it step by step and grow organically and not force this type of growth where just within 2 months, 3 months, I'm on 10 or 1,000 stores. So in that way, if you grow organically, then eventually it gives you the opportunity to control the whole experience and to, control the vision that you have, that it unfolds in the manner that you wanted it to unfold.
But as we are celebrating Youth Month, what do you think can be done? I mean, I don't know if it's the government or whatsoever, in terms of, I think what maybe most people need would be funding. But funding not in a sense that someone wants to take part, be part of the whole thing, but just to fund. What do you think can be done?
I think that's what needs to be done, because if we have to be political, if you go back to the apartheid era and you see these companies that are established today, those big names, you find that during their journey into becoming these big, companies, they were funded by the state, So I know, because I used to work in the media, the media company that I used to work with was actually state funded when it initially started to what it is today, and it controls a lot of media companies. So it needs to be a deliberate thing where we say we want to establish a group of black industrialists that one day will be able to control or build this economy. Let's give them the money, so it has to be that kind of thing. It's not like a two-way thing where we have to just be like, okay, we are seeing Themba Makamo with the VAYA. People love it. It has potential to hire 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 people. That's direct jobs, and then there's indirect jobs. Let's just fund him and then put people around him that will help him in the other spaces where he might struggle. I think for me that is one of the best solutions that could happen to black industrialists or the ones that are coming up.
And what are some of the highlights ever since you've started on this project to this very day?
The biggest highlight for me and which gives me so much joy, firstly, is how people react when they get their sneaker, when they eventually get their sneaker. That's the most, that if anything, if you can take out all of these other things away, you leave that one, that's the most important one. The feeling that somebody has when they finally be like, oh, no, got my VAYA, and they're so happy. I think that brings joy, because actually from my perspective, we are here to serve. We are all here to serve. And if there's a way that we are serving and it brings joy to others, that is the greatest, the biggest highlight that so far I celebrate all the time, because we just want to bring happiness to people.
So do you wear other shoes now, or
no?
You're wearing sneakers right now? I mean, VAYA sneakers. Or you only wear this?
I only wear VAYA. People used to joke, and they joke on social media and say, people tell us to buy into Iasha. Meanwhile, they're rocking some international foreign brands. We are rocking into Iasha. So I have to live, eat, drink, sleep the brand. So I wear VAYA every day, because that's what it's all about.
So are you looking forward to expanding the brand, to not only focus on sneakers or whatsoever? Are you looking into something like that?
Yeah, we are looking into that, but it's really, really far down the line. What I've found is especially with a sneaker brand, it's a category.
Yes.
And you, before, anyway, in business, let me just say in business or in life in general, before you can expand to other areas of your life, you just gotta master that one thing and be successful at that one thing. Then that gives you the springboard or the foundation to be able to do other things. Now, if you, as in the beginning, you wanna be all over the place, it never quite works out. So our thing is, let's establish ourselves as a sneaker brand, and then when we are dominating in that category, because we're not just in it to be just another name, we want to be the name. So once we dominate that space, then we are able to say, let's look into other things and get into those.
You absolutely know your brand, you're so ambitious about it. What is one advice that would help for a young person out there who actually wants to walk in these footsteps?
You know, I'd say it's so tough to give advice, you know, because of there isn't one shoe that fits all, you know. So one thing that I've and I'm gonna go back to the slogan because that's the slogan that you know informs the whole movement, VAYA, which the go for it slogan is. There's a lot of things you need to learn. You know, there's a lot of things you need to learn. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur or you're a young person out there and you want to start something, firstly, you have to have mentors. You gotta find a mentor. You gotta read the right books. You gotta have some experience. You know, you gotta have knowledge of every aspect of the business. Not be the expert, but know something about finance, know something about marketing. Every little part of it. But yes, all of that is important. But the thing that I would say to someone is, whatever that you want to do, I'd say the first thing that's very important is just do it. Go for it. Just go for it, because the only way to learn is when you are doing. You know, just the first step for me is do it, and then all these other things, you know, the Bible says, seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these other things will be added unto you. So even with this thing of life, just do it, just go for it, and then all these other things that you need to learn will come as you go.
I mean, just go for it.
Just go for it.
What more can you say? Your packaging is beautiful. I must say it's beautiful and I love it.
Thank you.
Where can people find the sneakers or find you?
Okay, right now they can find us online. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on Instagram you can search for VAYA /RSA. On Facebook it's VAYA Footwear. On Twitter it's VAYA Footwear. And then if you want to buy the sneaker, you can either buy it on our WhatsApp, which is 082 798 5020, 082 798 5020, or you can go online on our website, which is www.vaya4 it.co.za, www.vaya4it.co.za.
And I'll definitely do put the contacts in the description box so that people can just get everything there. This is beautiful. Anything that you want to add?
You know what, I would say to everybody that's been supporting us, everybody that's been putting the word out there, we really appreciate it and we thank you. Without people, actually, without people, we are nothing. We might design things and we might come up with marketing strategies and all of that, but the best marketing strategy is when people take the brand and they run with it. So we appreciate everybody out there that's supporting us.
Man, this is absolutely amazing. Themba, I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to come to the launch. And also, you know, more colors in, is it spring? Yes, so I can't wait for more colors. Absolutely, the one that I love, it's coming. So thank you so much for making time for us.
No, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. All right, bye.
Bye-bye.